Hello, welcome to Economics and You. I'm your host, Mr. Samuelson. Today we're going to be talking about the law of supply, not to be confused with the law of demand. This is the law of supply, different side of the equation. We're going to be getting into this quite a bit over the next few lessons. All right, the law of supply. What is the law of supply? Well, it says that as the price of a good increases, the quantity of the goods supplied also rises, also increases. So as the price of a good increases, the quantity supplied, not the quantity demanded, the quantity supplied will increase. And of course, ceteris paribus, this is all other things being equal. We have to keep that in mind when we talk about economics, particularly with these laws. It assumes that we're talking about a scenario where all we're looking at is the price of the good. That's it. Now, the inverse of the law is, of course, also true. As price drops, supply drops. That is, as the price of the good, how much people are paying for it, drops, the willingness of a company to produce that good also drops. This is the opposite of the relationship between price and quantity demanded that we saw in the law of demand. So, one more time, looking over at this chart, as price increases, quantity supplied increases. As price falls, quantity supplied falls. As price increases, supply increases. As price falls, supply falls. That is our law of supply. Now, this is all driven by the profit incentive. We've talked about the profit incentive before in this class. But it's important for us to bring that back into the conversation now that we're looking at supply side economics. Because it is the profit incentive that drives business decisions. Businesses act in a way which lead to profit. That is their job. Their job is to make money. And when prices are higher, you can get more profit. And so the more of an item is produced, you maximize those profits. So if you've got a high price on an item, that is, you can sell it for a high price. The consumer will pay a high price for it. You want to make as much of that product as possible so that you can maximize your profits. Profit incentive. So let's look at a supply curve. Like with demands and the demand curve, this information is best displayed on tables and graphs. So we use tables particularly to group together our price and quantity. So let's look at our oranges here. The price of oranges per kilogram is 10. Suppliers will supply about 100 oranges. That's what's worthwhile for them. But as that price increases, suppliers are willing to shift more of their resources into producing oranges in order to send oranges to the market. And then we see this on our graph as when our quantity supplied, when our price is 100, our quantity supplied is 10. When our price is 200, our quantity supplied is 20, right along this line. You'll notice it travels in a different direction than the demand curve does. Supply curve goes this way, a demand curve would cut across our graph in this direction. We'll look at how those intersect in a later lesson. Law of supply. Don't forget this one. As price increases, the quantity supplied increases. As price falls, the quantity supplied falls. Law of supply, now you know it. All right, so movement on the curve. As price increases, the supply of a good will also increase. We see that along this line. As a quantity down here increases, that is, moves up along this line, the price is moving up along this line or this axis. So our P axis, our price axis, and our Q for quantity, as you move up this line, both are increasing. Remember, with the demand curve, that was not the case. Businesses will base all their actions on what leads to the profit. So when they can profit by producing more, they will. When their ability to profit decreases, they'll produce less. They'll move down that curve. All right, that was all for today. Pretty short and sweet with this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and farewell.